So a lot of people have asked us why it took us so long to produce these Imbuko parcels of land. As I've mentioned before, there's a lot that goes into producing clean titles. You see that people advertise all the time. It's actually become a red flag for me. Every time I hear clean title, I pull out my crucifix and garlic and all that stuff. But a lot goes into producing that, and I'll explain. And I hope you can keep track. So we bought this piece of land, the mother parcel, about 5 to 5.5 years ago. That's a long time. From a business perspective, that's not good because we have to service loans in the meantime as a business or tie up our own capital for that period of time. From a business perspective, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys about this, it's not a secret and there's no need to hide. We're in the business to make money like every other business. And so how long it takes us to cycle in and out of our projects is important. And 5.5 years is a terribly long time to have capital tied. And this is why. So right about the time we bought the piece of land, I think it was just about when the Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Kaimeni, was appointed to office in the Ministry of Lands. And one of the first things he did, for very noble reasons, was disband all land control boards in the country. And presumably there's, I don't know, maybe 50 to 60 of those, because some counties have more than one land board by sub-counties. Like in Kajiado, I believe there's 3 land boards, Ngong area, Kajiado area, and our zone, which is under Mashuru sub-county. And the reason he did that was because in terms of government policy, land control boards are supposed to cycle members in and out every so often. And up until the time he came into office, many of the land control boards were constituted by the same individuals for donkey years. And so he disbanded them for the purpose of reconstituting them. According to his public gazette, this exercise was supposed to take 2 weeks. Ended up taking almost a year. What does that mean? Because we deal with agricultural land when we buy, by law, anything you do with agricultural land has to get approvals of the presiding land control board for your area. And because the Cabinet Secretary had disbanded all land control boards for the purpose of reconstituting them, we were unable to transact. That means you can't subdivide, you can't sell, you can't buy, so on and so forth. By the time the land boards were reconstituted, we were just getting into a new election cycle, which is not great for government service delivery. We had a new governor into office in Kajiado County, who likewise was very nobly intended in his efforts to create policies for his county to preserve the culture, to encourage agricultural use. Kajiado County, if you don't know, is one of the largest counties in Kenya. I believe in terms of landmass, aside of Lake Kivu, Kajiado County is about the same size as the entire country of Rwanda, just to put things into context. And so he was keen to create policies in an environment that would allow for sustainable use of land within his county. One of the first things he did towards that was completely freeze or issue a moratorium on all agricultural land transactions within his county, because he wanted a county zoning plan put in place, which is a constitutional requirement for every county. And this meant, again, for a good bunch of time, we couldn't transact because it wasn't clear what our area would be zoned for and what restrictions would be brought into place. Whenever that exercise was done, lo and behold, it emerged that our area was restricted to 10 to 20 acre minimum subdivision sizes. So that means for companies like us or individuals who wanted to subdivide land, either for inheritance purposes, for selling purposes, or for commercial purposes like we do, all of a sudden, the land we intended to subdivide into 1 acre or 5 acres couldn't, because the new restriction for that zone required that we maintain 10 to 20 acre blocks of land as a minimum. Certain areas were restricted to as big as 160 acres, right? So if you're gonna buy land in Kajiado County, don't buy blindly. Find out from your seller whether or not they follow the due process as required by the county on minimum subdivision sizes, right? As time went by, we learned that in order to produce smaller than 10 to 20 acre blocks of land within our zone, we had to change user for this piece of land. That means you change its use from agricultural to whatever it is that you're proposing for the county to allow. For us, that area didn't make any sense for anything else other than residential, for weekend getaway villas, anything around ecotourism because of our proximity to the Amboseli National Park, which, by the way, we are within 40 kilometers of. And so we started the process. It's a time-consuming process by nature, never mind any delays along the way that you might be subjected to by corrupt individuals asking for bribes or payoffs to approve this, that, or the other. Never mind government shutdowns because of COVID, blah, blah, blah. And lo and behold, only last week we took possession of a properly subdivided 1 acre blocks of land with residential zoning or user for eco villas, right at the heart of South Kajiado. As I've said, 40 kilometers before the Amboseli National Park, overlooking that whole plateau leading up to the beautiful Mount Kilimanjaro. And so we're excited that after this long journey, we finally have title deeds ready. For those of you who have been waiting, you know yourselves, you've been on a waiting list for 2.5 years, emailing us every other month about why it's taking so long. Now is your chance to own your piece of that part of the country and enjoy the stunning views of Mount Kilimanjaro, the amazingly fertile volcanic virgin soils that we sit on. And this is not something that's a secret. You can come and do soil samples, tests if you like. We're happy to share those that we've done if that's helpful for you. But as always, as part of your due diligence, don't rely so much on the seller. Do your own investigation and be comfortable about making a safe investment. So check out our website. Give us a call as quickly as you can. There's only 80 blocks of land. That's not very many considering how many of you have been waiting. And get your piece now before they run out, because it's highly unlikely there'll be any 1 acre blocks of land on that side of the country for a long time. It's taken us 5 years. We are the only ones with 1 acre blocks, so get yours today. You're watching Own Land in Kenya, and I'm Solomon Wangwe.